Good morning. I am Michael's son. Excerpt 5 of letter 2, which we will read today, refers essentially to the healing of Miriam's and Zedekiah's son in Capernaum. Thanks so much for being here today. Hope you enjoy the reading.
Letter 2, Excerpt 5. First healings and initial reactions. As I walked the street, a woman of middle years came towards me, heavily laden with baskets on her arms. Her countenance was sorrowful. It seemed she had been crying. On impulse, I stopped her and asked her where I might find accommodation. She said, briefly, that she would normally offer me a bed, but she had a very sick son at home. She added that she had been to buy provisions to feed the comforters who had already gathered to mourn when her son died. My heart grieved for her, but also rejoiced. Straightway, I had been led to someone I could help. I expressed my sympathy and offered to carry her baskets to her house. She looked at me for a moment, wondering who I might be, but was apparently satisfied by my appearance and demeanor. On the way, I said that I could probably help her son. "Are you a doctor?" she asked. I replied that I had received no medical training, but nonetheless I could help him. On reaching her house, large and well built of stone, indicating social standing and prosperity, she took me to her husband, saying, "This man says he can help our son." He nodded morosely but said nothing. The woman, Miriam, drew me away, saying he was distressed and very angry. "The boys are our only son amongst many daughters, and he is blaming God for giving the child the sickness." Miriam wept. "If he speaks like this against God, what other troubles will be heaped upon us, I wonder?" "Take comfort," I said. "Shortly your son will be well again." She looked doubtful, but led me to the room in which the boy lay. It was hot and stifling, and filled with gloomy, talkative well-wishers. I asked the mother to clear the room, but the visitors were resistant. They wanted to see what would be done, and only left reluctantly when Miriam called her husband to speak to them. I could hear them arguing with the father in the next room. What did he think this man could do if the doctor had been unable to help the boy? The father came into the room to see for himself. His son was deathly pale and had a high fever. The mother explained he could not keep his food down and had loose bowels. He had been like that for several days and had lost so much weight. The doctor had said nothing more could be done for him. He would probably die. I placed my hands in the boy's head and prayed, knowing and silently giving heartfelt thanks that the father life would flow down through my hands and into his body. Thus a healing work would be accomplished. I felt extreme heat and a tingling vibration in my hands, and the power pouring into his frail body. I was overcome with joyous thanksgiving. How great, how wonderful was the father life when released to do its natural work of healing. His mother and father, looking anxious, wondering what would happen next, held each other's hands and watched intently. As they saw their son's color gradually change from white to a more healthy glow, they exclaimed in astonishment and delight. After some time, the boy looked up at me, saying brightly, "Thank you, I'm well now. I'm hungry and want something to eat." His mother laughed with happiness and held him close, but also looked apprehensive. "I cannot give you food, my son. The doctor will be angry." She had been warned to starve him of all but water. I smiled and said, "He is cured. You can give him bread and wine, and he will keep it down. His father, Zedekiah, was all amazed joy and gratitude. After embracing his beloved boy, he turned to me and wrung my hands warmly. He kept patting my shoulder but shaking his head, unable to speak for the tears which were running down his cheeks. When he had largely recovered his composure, he went through to the living room and said to the people there, "My son, almost dead, has been returned to fullness of life again." His words were met with a great clamor of jubilation, excitement, disbelief, questioning, laughter, and congratulations. The boy's mother stood there, her face wreathed in smiles.
Hello. So how was the reading today? Let me reread a few lines for you. I placed my hands in the boy's head and prayed, knowing and silently giving heartfelt thanks that the Father life would flow down through my hands and into his body. Thus the healing work would be accomplished. Knowing, Jesus knew that the boy would heal as an absolute fact. That is real faith. Knowing with a conviction that not 1,000 tornadoes could uproot. That everything in this world is miraculous, good, beautiful, has been made for us. That we are at all times being provided for. That all our needs are being satisfied. Or that the force of intelligent energy is moving things so that these needs are satisfied in due time. Knowing that, is your faith like that, brother and sister? Or is your faith rather a system of dry beliefs that you picked or that were handed down to you by tradition, by schooling, by priests and pastors alike, and a system of beliefs that today leaves you unmoved, silent, weary, bored, unmoved, untouched, confused, unsatisfied? Well, this is my question for you today, based on today's reading. Thanks so much for being here today. Please subscribe to my channel by hitting the button below. Please give me a like if you like this video. And thanks so much for sharing with friends. I love you, girls and guys. See you later, alligators.